Every time I hear this beat, I'm ready for victory. Y'all know I made this track. I can make beats. I play instruments. I'm good at so many things. This sounds like it should be the theme song for Black Panther 3. Right? If I'm willing to lease this track to Marvel, they feel like getting their shit together. They want to stop being woke and fuck with some dope shit. Let's start the show. Yeah. Welcome to another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. I am your host, Big Grandfather, BBC, King Keto, the king of ketosis, Gymnasium Jesus, Jesus de Gimnasio para miete, you know, and this is episode 181 of the Victory Talk podcast. I'm not here alone. Right? I'm joined by the best producer in the game, right? Man who made all this possible. You know what I'm saying? The homie Nima, you know?
Let's go. Super excited.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it. All right. Yo, Nima, we got to wait till y'all see the day in the life video that we about to drop, man. It was a crazy day. And Nima was shooting. We was at a bikini shoot for a bikini shoot, right? Whose bikini shoot? My girl's bikini shoot, because she coming out with her own bikini line. She's also man in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. The whole team was there. You know what I'm saying? Support. We shot behind the scenes. It's lit. You know. It's gonna be fire. Wait till you see it.
Yeah, we're gonna drop it this week.
We're gonna drop it this week, man. And if you watch my story on the gram, you'd have seen it. You'd have seen it. But don't you worry. Don't you worry. It's gonna be lit. You know what I'm saying? We launching her bikini line. You know what I'm saying? That's exciting. She launched it. She did it. I can't take credit for it. You know what I'm saying? She doing it. Hey, before we get into it, man, we got a few sponsors. Nima, we got some sponsors for the episode.
Really?
Yeah.
It took us 181 episodes.
So the first sponsor, let me see if I can pull it up. Technology. This is why people don't do it live. Or they're just better. The first sponsor is the newsletter Big Money Methods. All right. This is a newsletter that once you click that link in the description, put your email here, hit subscribe. Twice a week, you're going to get email methods on how you can make big money. All right. And you see all these articles, they're written by me, my homie Scene. He's one of our my top copywriter and my company, High Ticket Trainer, and one of my top salespeople, Chris. All right. We writing articles and they get methods how to get big money, man. You know what I'm saying? How I lost everything twice and came back even stronger. Come on now. How to make $1,000 monthly passive income using AI, robots, Skynet. The whole shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Chris, you know, he a badass. We talking about why carry-based workouts taking over modern strength training. We talking about all types of shit, man. We talking about all types of shit. Go ahead and subscribe to the newsletter Big Money Methods. It's lit. Go ahead and subscribe right now. The next sponsor is a product that Nima and I have been working on, right? So Nima, of course, he's a podcast producer. No. Of course, he's a podcast producer, videographer, cinematographer. But a lot of people don't know he also has done a lot of work in, you know, bioengineering. Back when he's in Iran. And he helped us come together, him and his team of Iranian scientists came up with a product called Thought Repellent. The easy to apply spray to keep the hoes away. You spray this on your body before you go out, right? And regular women, good women, they'll smell you and they're just like, man, this dude smells amazing, delicious, magnificent. But the thoughts, they won't be able to get close. They'll start feeling sick, right? They're like, oh, I can't get close to you. This will keep you safe when you're out in these streets, man, because it's tough out here, right? It's been genetically engineered to only affect the DNA of thoughts, hoes, sluts, slut hoes, stank hoes, hood rats, skanks, skeezers, Jezebels, scallywags, and trifling bitches. All right. Only those women they won't be able to get near you. But the good women, they'll just be like, man, you smell delicious. Right. Now, some of you guys are going to be careful wearing this around your family members. You might find out that your sister or your mama was a thought, on accident. And she'll have she might go into convulsions. That's how you knew your mom was a hoe. Right. So a lot of y'all gonna have to worry about find that out on accident. Anyway, this was supposed to be out by Valentine's Day. Right. But it's your fault. Right. Because this is all crowdfunded. So all your super chats go towards the development of thought repellent so we can actually get this out to the people. The goal is to have it out by spring break now. But we're gonna need your help. Right. All your super chats go towards the development of thought repellent. All right. And this is coming out. This is a real product. It's not a joke. If we get enough super chats, we'll have this out by spring break when you'll need it. Right. That's like, it's like a flu season. That's thought season. That's when you're going to need it the most. All right. So go ahead. All your super chats go towards development of thought repellent. All right. Oh, that's where all the money's going. All right. There's no heroes have. See, this is the problem. No super chats. That's why we don't have thought repellent out. That's why y'all don't have it yet. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's get it. Hey, I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. A lot of stuff I want to teach y'all today. We're going to talk about a lot of things help you build your money muscle and your mindset. But also, we're going to, at around 8, the homie Young Candlestick Greg is going to come in and talk. We're going to talk about the market. The market's been going haywire, but we've been making money. We're going to show you how we've been doing it, how you can too. And I'm going to answer all your questions. This is live. It is 7:39 Eastern Standard Time. We got some real stuff we want to talk about, man. Play the intro. Play the intro. Something went wrong. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm sorry about that. The software I used to have my notes was fucking up, and I had to go on my other computer and fix it. But we good now, man. That was a lesson right there. Never give up, and no matter what's going on. All right. Here are 40 lessons that I wish I knew when I was in my 20s. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Here are 40 things I wish I knew when I was in my 20s. First one is stop trying to figure out what you can get away with and start seeing how much you can push yourself. So I learned this when I was in a different kind of industry in my early 20s. So I don't want to say it, but in this industry, a lot of the other a lot of my colleagues and or competition, they were selling a product that they would get from Miami, right? And when they would get it back in I was in New York at the time, and when they would get this product, what they would do is they would dilute it, make it less potent in order to stretch it out. Sometimes they call it stepping on it, right? And they were kind of just cheating, looking for shortcuts. They were looking for shortcuts, and then looking for shortcuts. And when they would distribute it to the consumers, it was less potent, right? It gave them a bad reputation. What I did instead was I went straight to Miami, to the source. Well, the reason this was happening is because people were getting it from other people in Miami, mostly Miami, right? There was the middleman. They were the middleman, so they were getting it for a higher price because they didn't want to go all the way down to Miami themselves because there was a lot of risk involved in it. You had to have more money to get it from the source, right? It was more difficult and arduous. But for me, I thought, man, I could just try to get away with selling an inferior product like the rest of my competition, or I can just go to Miami and go get it, right? And I went down, I took the plane to Miami and the Greyhound bus back to New York. And now I had the most potent product amongst my competitors. And instead of diluting it, I just charged more because I said, yo, man, that, and this allowed me to make a lot of more money than my competitors. What's the lesson here, right? I wasn't necessarily better than them. I just had a better product because I was willing to do more than they were willing to do to accomplish their goals, right? They were looking for shortcuts, and I think that's what most people try to do. Most people are trying to see how much they can get away with instead of how much they can push themselves. So as it relates to other goals in life, people ask me, what's the easiest way to get in shape? Or do I have to count calories to lose fat? Or how do I make the most amount of money in the least amount of time? And the problem is they're looking to see what they can get away with instead of how far they can push themselves, right? If you're willing to push yourself more than everyone else, you can accomplish more than everyone else, because life is cause and effect. And the more extreme you are willing to be, the more extreme results you can get. Extreme results have to come from extreme actions. It can't be any other way, right? Regular actions lead to regular results. Extreme actions lead to extreme results. So you got to be extremist and be willing to go all the way. The next lesson is long-term thinkers always win, right? Long-term thinkers always win. So when I was in that other profession, one thing I realized was a lot of people who were around me were dying and getting sent to prison, right? So and it really hit me when one of my friends, SV, he got sent to life in prison for double homicide. He killed those people. He definitely did. He deserved it. That's why I don't go around saying free SV, because he definitely did it. 100%. And And then my other boy my other boy Esco, he was murdered by some rivals. And then my father blew his brains out. And one thing I noticed about all three of those circumstances is they were all thinking short term. And I was at the time too. And that's when I said, you know what, fuck, I got to start thinking long term, right? When you start thinking long term, you make better decisions. Because check this out, the things that are typically bad for you in the short term, that we dislike in the short term, are typically good for us in the long term, right? Eating healthy today, you may not enjoy it as much as eating some candies and cakes right now, right? But eating healthy in the short term, if we do that for a long enough period of time, it'll be good for us in the long term. Studying today may not be the same as going to the amusement park, getting high, getting drunk, right? It may not be as fun, right? You may have to miss out on getting high, getting drunk, right? Because you're studying, you're working on something, but it's good for you long term, right? And the contrary is true as well. The things typically that we enjoy in the short term are bad for us long term, right? The most delicious food, candy, cake, sugar, processed food, Doritos that have been engineered to be tastier than regular food, they're bad for a short term. I mean, they're good for a short term. We love them short term, but long term, they're bad for us, right? Not studying, not reading, not working hard, being diligent, and partying and bullshitting. It may be fun in the short term, but it's bad for us long term. But what we don't understand is all things are like that. So the more we can expand our time horizon, typically the better decisions we make. If we make all our decisions based off how will I feel about this decision 10 years from now, you'll be doing all types of shit different than you do currently, right? But the problem is most young people, and I was guilty of this as well, as you could tell from the previous few minutes, right? I was guilty of thinking short term because most young people do this because they haven't been alive that long, right? You know what I'm saying? So if you're only 20 years old, right? And you think about 5 years from now, that feels like a lot of time. Well, it should feel like a long time because that's 5 years is 25% of your entire life. Probably 10%. It's probably 50% of the life you're cognizant of because you don't remember a whole lot of shit before the age of 5, right? So so it's maybe not 10%. Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Hold on, I made that. Maybe not 10%. I said that. Take that part out. Right? It's a significant part of your life, right? Because you ain't been alive that long. But the more you can think long term, the better decisions you make. So when I saw this happen to people around me, I thought, okay, what do I want long term? And I said, okay, I need to switch into a different kind of industry, which is safer, both for my life and my freedom, right? And that's when I switched to online training. And I said, I'm just going to do this. And it was bad for me short term, right? Because I wasn't like saving money. Because remember, I was thinking short term. So I didn't have a bunch of money saved or nothing like that, right? I had to start from the bottom and I had to start working hard, right? I went from living the lifestyle that Pusha T and them rap about to having a job, taking orders from motherfuckers, right? And that was bad for me short term, but long term, I knew what I was working towards. As you can see, it worked out. Had I stayed on that path, we know where that shit ends, right? The next thing you need to focus on, the next thing I wish I knew when I was 20 is displaying competence is the only way to get support from other people, right? So I get a lot of messages from people who say, man, my family doesn't support me, or my friends don't support me, or my girl doesn't support me. Nobody believes in me. Here's the thing. If they don't believe you can do something, it's for a reason, right? And that reason is you have not displayed competence in that field yet. It doesn't mean you can't do it, right? But they don't have any reason to believe that that's something you can do, especially if they haven't seen anyone else do it in their circle, right? The way they're acting towards you is totally rational. It's totally rational, and it's okay. You need to make peace with that. So it used to bother me, if I had ambitions or when I was working on something and nobody supported me initially, it was like, I felt the same way. But I think I just realized, yeah, there's no reason for them to believe in me. I haven't displayed competence in this realm, right? But if I had a track record of doing dope shit, if I had a track record of doing the shit I said I wanted to do, then it would have made perfect sense. It would have been stupid not to believe in me, right? So instead of being mad at your family or your friends who don't support you or don't believe in you, just understand it's just human nature, right? They've never seen you do this shit before. You ain't did it before. It's just an idea. But you got to remember, God gave you that vision. He didn't give it to everyone else. He didn't give everyone on earth your vision. He gave that vision to you. It's your job to fulfill it, right? Now, once you start displaying competence, then they'll have confidence in you. And what's going to happen, because I stopped talking about what I was going to do. Like I didn't tell nobody what I was planning on, right? And well, I never told anybody what I was trying to do when I was working on my goals, because I had read in Malcolm X's autobiography. He said, the only part I really remember was he said, don't tell people your goals, because if you fail or change your mind, nobody knows, right? And I thought that was dope. He also said it's more impressive if it just seems like it happened, right? So I'm working on this thing and I'm keeping that in mind. I didn't tell people, but I did, I'm posting YouTube videos. I'm doing shit. They see me grinding. Nobody's showing a whole bunch of love. Nobody's supporting me the way I would have hoped. And it bothered me a little bit, right? Especially when I started getting some success and I had fans who were bigger supporters than my friends and family. But, it's difficult to be a prophet in your own land. It's okay. But if you keep going, you'll get so much success that your success becomes like there's a gravitational pull, but it's got to be big enough, like the way gravity works, right? It's got to be a large enough mass to start bringing people in, right? And once the success was big enough where it couldn't be ignored, then people say, yo, man, how can I get involved with what you're doing, right? And that's when the homie Brian, my boy, white boy Brian, that's when the homie white boy Brian was like, yo, man, I want to work with you. How can I be involved? Like, shit, man. Yeah, I need some help. Let's go. Let's get it. And we started doing it. He still works with me now, and that's what happens, right? And the more the bigger your success, the more gravitational pull you'll have, right? So don't be mad at the people who don't believe in you, aren't supporting the way you think they should. They're just being rational. You ain't displayed competence in that yet. It makes a lot of sense, right? God gave you the vision, not them. All right. The next lesson I wish I knew was the more you sweat during peace, the less you bleed during war. The more you sweat during peace, the less you bleed during war. Here's why that's important. A lot of times, okay, for example, I remember I had a friend and he came into a lot of money super fast. This was my early 20s. He came into a good amount of money. And instead of taking that money, doubling down on it, investing it somewhere, he said, fuck it. He went straight to the Louis store, went to the Gucci store, right? I don't even know I want to say this, man. He fucking bought a bunch of drugs, rented like a fucking hotel suite, called a bunch of escorts over. Man, this motherfucker was living crazy for like a week. And he spent all the money. The thing is, he thought the money would keep coming from his endeavor, right? But the thing he was doing, other people saw the success, and then the field got crowded and he wasn't successful anymore, right? So here's the thing. Once things get easier, that's when you need to start going harder. That's when you need to start focusing and working even harder. Because nobody's life is going to be an unbroken boulevard of green lights, right? Your next tragedy is around the corner. So when things are good or when things are easy, what you want to do is work even harder and get ready for the bullshit, because some bullshit is going to happen, right? Whether it's economic crisis. I've lived through several economic crises, a fucking pandemic, right? Natural disasters. I lived through a lot of natural disasters. Hurricane Sandy came through, fucked up New York, and I was there. People in your family are going to die. Friends are going to die. You know, your immediate family, your friends, they may need your help. And you need to be ready for all of that. You can't expect things to just fucking run smooth because it's almost never works like that. And if you get a pocket where everything's going right, everything's going smooth, that's when you need to go fucking super hard and get as much money as possible, build much more resources and much more defenses as possible. It is not time to start go on vacation, enjoying life, all that bullshit, because the next fucking tragedy is around the corner. Your life is going to be a series of tragedies. Everyone you know is going to die. There's going to be more natural disasters. It happens all the time. Right? There's an economic recession every 10 years on average. Right? Your business may be going well, but things can change. I know people I know some guys, they were making a lot of money with search engine optimization, right? And linking it to affiliate stuff. And then Google overnight changed their algorithm, fucked them, took them out of business, right? Shit can happen. My friend, he owns my jeweler. He's telling me, man, he ain't do nothing wrong, but Russia decided to invade Ukraine. It's difficult for them to get diamonds now, so business slows down because he just can't get the inventory. He was asking me if he could buy some diamonds, some of the diamonds he sold to me off me, so he could sell them for higher prices. Right? It's that wasn't his fault. Shit happens, right? So you always got to prepare. Some shit is going to happen at some point. And the better you are insulated, the more you prepare for it, the less it will affect you in a negative way, right? The ramifications won't be as severe. The more you sweat during peace, the less you bleed during war, all right? The next thing I wish I knew, and it goes along with that, is protecting the downside is more important than focusing on the upside. For example, it was about 4 or 5 years ago. Crypto was going crazy, right? The stock market was going crazy. And there was this new thing out that everybody was super excited about. They were called NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Y'all remember NFTs? Y'all remember NFTs? Motherfuckers was just paying thousands of dollars, sometimes millions of dollars for cartoons and shit. Fucking cartoons and shit. And they didn't know it was a scam, right? Everybody's making money off NFTs. I knew a lot of people, a lot of influencers who put out NFTs to make, and sold it to their audience to make money, right? And they made a lot of money. What do you think happened to the value of those NFTs? Yeah, they're worth almost zero now. All of them. Basically, these motherfuckers ripped off their audience. And many of them, really fucked up their reputations, really fucked up their reputations for some short money. And a lot of the influencers didn't know though, right? But when people, listen, I've been famous for a long time, right? Relatively famous, like a J-list celebrity. You know how many people came to me saying, yo, let's do an NFT project. We can make this amount of money. And it was attractive amounts of money, right? But you know what I thought, man, this shit looks like a scam to me. I don't know. It may be legit, but it looks a lot like a scam to me. And I think the downside of ripping off my audience, fucking up my reputation, is not worth the potential upside of a few extra $1 million, right? And you got to think about that, because where would I be now if I did that shit? And then you see it all the time, like right now, right? It's happening again. Every time crypto starts pumping, so there's a new scam goes alongside it. Right now, it's meme coins. Meme coins. That's the thing, right? So we see people doing rug pulls on the fucking meme coins. The president came out with a meme coin. I don't want to talk about it. I don't keep politics out of it. Okay, edit that out. All right. But for example, Rick Ross, he put out the Boss coin. He was talking about Boss coin. Soon as that shit went up to be worth, had like, a lot of money, he just rug pulled it. Have you seen the shit? He just rug pulled it. Boss coin, and took all the Boss coin shit off his social media. And I ain't got no beef with Rick Ross, he watches my videos. He left a comment on one of my Instagram posts. You seen that shit? I'll show you. You got to put it in the thing. But yo, he rug pulled these motherfuckers, man. Right? Would you buy some shit from Rick Ross now, knowing that? I wouldn't. Right? You got to, he probably made some money, but I mean, we can look at the blockchain. He made like $1 million, but it was like straight scam. That's fucked up, right? The country of Argentina rug pulled this. The country of Argentina just came out with its own meme coin. Rug pulled the whole country. What do you think do you think that's helping out their the economy? Right? You got to protect the downside. And this is just everything. So anytime I have a decision I want to make, I want to take a risk. Just the criteria I put it through. I say, what's the worst that could happen? And I don't try to make it feel good, right? I don't say, oh man, I'm sure of this. No. What's the absolute worst that could happen? The worst case scenario. And I think about it like worse than what's probable, right? Then I say, okay, that's the worst that can happen. Can I handle it? Right? Can I handle it? If I can't handle it, then I'll probably just do it, right? If I can't handle it, then I don't do it. If I can't handle the worst, right? The worst case scenario, then I don't take that risk. It's super simple, right? What's the worst that can happen? Can you handle it? Yes, do it. Right? No, don't do it. It's a super simple criteria, Then I think after I decided, if I say no, then it's over, right? I'll move on, make another plan. If I can't handle it, then I think, okay, what can I do to mitigate the chances of the worst happening, right? Then I get extra aggressive on that front. So it looks like I'm taking a whole bunch of risks. If you look at my life, it looks like I'm super courageous and super risk adverse. It doesn't seem like I'm super risk adverse, right? But it's very calculated, right? I already looked at the downside, all the potentials of it, and then I looked at, can I handle it? And I feel like I can. So it's a calculated risk. Right? We're gonna get into the other tips, but first we got to bring in the homie Young Candlestick for the market recap. Yo, Greg, what up, man?
What's up, Brandon? Good to see you. What's up, Millionaires? The markets are going crazy right now. We need to break it down.
Yeah.
We need to decide whether this is a correction that's worth buying right now, or if this can morph into a bigger sell-off, into a crash. Okay.
Yeah.
So markets year to date are down. S&P 500 is down minus 2.5%. Okay. So not too bad, just a little bit. The NASDAQ is down 4.6% year to date. That's a decent down year so far. But the semiconductors, the SMH, these are down 9.1% year to date.
Is that right?
Remember when we talk about semiconductors, these are leading indicators. Semiconductors tend to lead the NASDAQ because semiconductors are so important. The chip industry helps fuel everything that's going on with tech stocks.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really important to take a look at. And basically what I'm looking at in the overall market is there's no sign of a bottom just yet. Everybody's,
right.
The market has a green day. Okay, the bottom is in. I see it all over CNBC. Time to buy.
Mm-hmm.
It may be, but remember when I said last time, if you try to pick bottoms, you might end up with stinky fingers.
Yeah.
So a lot
Stank
of people,
ass fingers.
Yeah, a lot of people have poopy fingers right now in the stock market. And I just want to say, expand out your time horizon. Really be patient. This is where dollar cost averaging starts beating out traders that try to time in and out and do big ass lump sum investments all at once. So I don't see a sign of a bottom just yet. My forecast on the market is neutral/bearish. Even if we start to rally, we need to make higher lows and higher highs. We need to form new trends. So don't feel like you're going to miss the market rally if it has a green day. It's not just going to go straight up to the highs. It could. It's just very unlikely to.
Very unlikely.
Okay? So what do we look for if we're going to be looking for a stock market bottom? Well, we'd see the IWM, the Russell 2000, start to lead upwards. Okay, this is where most of the stocks live, 2000 stocks. We'll start to see the transports start to lead. So this is the IYT. That's not near all-time highs. That's not near any bullish breakout setups. There could be green days within this downtrend, but you got to be really, really cautious. You'll also see Bitcoin start to lead to the upside. Bitcoin is going all over the place. It's just disrespecting technicals like crazy. So basically, we had this long range of Bitcoin from 90K up to about 107,000. I noted that I'm going to short crypto if it breaks 90,000. Boom, it breaks 90,000 and dips all the way down to 78,000. I was able to close half of my shorts there at the low, but then we get that Trump crypto reserve with Solana, Bitcoin, and that's where we had the massive gap up, and all the crypto bros pop out of the closet. They're like, didn't they? They're like, I told you, bro, you got to buy the dip. I'm like, okay. I see it. But we just literally gapped up where? To the former breakdown area. So look, we break down. If you come back to that breakdown area, that's supply on the first go around. You need to get above that breakdown point and hold. So really, Bitcoin's not bullish until it really holds above 100,000. I think that Bitcoin, the way it's looking right now, it's still rejecting resistance. It might come down and test something like 70 to 60K first, and then maybe it can get its long-term uptrend. Okay. So I do think I'm not a huge crypto bull, but I'm not a long-term crypto bear. I'm the type of person that says allocate a reasonable amount of crypto to your portfolio, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%.
Hold on. Some people are saying they can't see the chart.
Oh, no way.
Well, no, but I see it.
It's a blank
I see it just fine. Yo, wait a minute.
I'll stop sharing, then I'll retry it.
Yeah.
I'll stop sharing and then
because we see it just fine. Let's try it again. All right, listen. Before you start talking, guys, just type in the comments. Type 1 if you see it. Type 1 if you see it. And there's a bit of time delay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they see it now. All right, cool. We back. Yo, sorry, Victinators. Yo, we saw it on our end.
Yeah. We're good. We got the technical analysis.
We was out here charting.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm glad y'all let us know though. We out here. Let's get it.
The main lesson with the crypto chart, you got this, is when you see a breakdown, if it's coming back to the breakdown point, just wait for a new buy setup. I think long-term, the best way to play crypto is to dollar cost average into it and maybe do some lump sum investments if it can get super oversold, but not just super oversold. Let it bounce a little bit. Let it show you that people are interested in buying. You don't need to buy just like the bright red candles. Let some green candles come on in. You don't have to be the first one. You don't have to pick that bottom. Let other people pick the bottom, and then you can swoop in and grab that.
So here's what I've been doing. I've been fucking with the ETF, and I'm not putting a whole lot of money in it. I'm dollar cost averaging into the deep ETF. Even though it looked like, because I'm expecting it to keep going down, actually, right? Because I didn't buy at the earlier points, so now I feel like okay, it's giving me some opportunities to buy, and I'm buying like a little bit every day, nothing crazy, not even just a little bit every day. I don't know for how long.
I think that's
because I'm a long-term bull on it,
Definitely. And that's the IBIT ETF. That's the base ETF for Bitcoin. I think the zone of like 40 to 35 can be a good spot for lump sum. Other than that, though, stick with the dollar cost average approach.
Yeah.
Even professional market technicians can't perfectly get these buy points because there's so many news catalysts going on. The news can just fuck up your trade any single day. I mean, you can just take a look at the NASDAQ, the QQQ. Let's look at a smaller time frame, like the hourly. Yeah, it's just a channel downward. It's just a downtrend. But if you really look at it, generally, whenever you close near the high, like we did yesterday, buyers are in control. They stepped up at every point during the day. You likely see a gap up or a move higher. But no, it closed near the high, gap down, quick pump up, and then sell to the lows. Now we're closing at the lows. The futures are up right now, so we might see a gap up. So there's just a lot of wish-washiness going on in the overall market. And so I'm not condoning day trading. Day trading has a high failure rate, and it doesn't incentivize you to think long-term. However, if you are, pretty good at day trading, or you have that skill built up, take a look at this setup. So this is what I have on my chart is called the VWAP and an EMA. VWAP stands for volume weighted average price. Is the purple line. Most institutions like to buy dips into VWAP, and if it's above the VWAP, it's considered in an uptrend. If price is beneath the VWAP, price is considered to be in a downtrend.
On what time frame though?
Any time frame, the VWAP will populate the same on every single time frame. That's what's nice about it. Now the EMA, this is an exponential moving average. It basically smooths out price, but it gives more weight to the recent price. So it's different than a simple moving average. But an EMA is really good for day trading. And a simple day trading strategy that tends to work actually really well on NQ futures, QQQ, even most individual stocks, is called the VWAP EMA crossover.
Which EMA is it? Which day?
9-period EMA. Okay.
9, really?
9-period EMA. So if I'm looking at a 1-minute chart, it's going to smooth out the last 9 minutes of price, and it's going to give more weight to recent price. Whenever you get a cross of the EMA above VWAP, that's considered a buy signal. And when you do that, you can put your stop loss underneath the low of the day. You can use another pivot if you want a tighter stop loss, but you can put your stop underneath the low of the day. Boom, money. The same can go for the downside. When the EMA crosses underneath VWAP, that's a sell signal. It's telling us that momentum is starting to wane. You can sell, put your stop loss above the high of day, boom, money. And it transfers across multiple time frames. You can back test this, take a look at some charts, take a look at some individual stocks. It's not perfect, just like any other strategy. The biggest risk with this strategy is a whipsaw where price breaks above, price breaks under, price breaks above, price breaks under. But it helps you catch those trends. Here's a buy signal, boom, money. Here's a sell signal, boom. You would have caught that trend all day to the downside. So that's a simple day trading strategy. But when we're investing in the stock market, we really do want to think long term. That's where most people build their wealth. Most people don't build their wealth day trading. They build their wealth consistently dollar cost averaging during good periods and during bad periods. Okay? So that's really, really important to note. Another thing too is, this EMA was starting to cross over. That's when I started to alert more short trades in the next week. I was on a coaching call with a Victory Trades member, and we were taking a look at his portfolio. I was like, yeah, market looks pretty bearish. If you want to, you can grab some puts. And boom, within an hour or two, he paid for that coaching call. just right then and there. This is like perfect. So that's a big benefit. That's a big benefit of just knowing the different strategies that tend to work well in different market environments. I'm not saying that trading is easy. This is a difficult market environment just due to the whipsaws and just lack of technical analysis kind of taking place. But I just want to briefly talk about some earnings as well. So Broadcom reported earnings today, and this is one of Nancy Pelosi's stocks.
Oh, yeah?
Broadcom, one of the larger semiconductors in the SMH ETF. Broadcom, a nice good pump after hours, went as high as 18.8%.
What's the ticker symbol?
AVGO. So I do like the stock. My top semiconductors are AVGO, TSM. TSM got a deal done with President Trump. And basically he said, hey, move over your manufacturing over to the United States and skip over those tariffs. And on that news, TSM got a little bit of a bounce, but now it's still selling off with the overall market weakness. I like TSM for buys, even right at this price, even though the technical chart is pretty ugly, but it might come down to 150 if the NASDAQ starts to sell off. Okay. So these individual stocks sell off harder than the broad market. And that has to do with what's called beta. So a high beta name like Tesla moves like 4 times the amount of the market. If the market's down, these individual stocks are going to be down multiples of that, way more. If the market is green, these stocks can be way more green. Some examples of lower beta stocks or ETFs, you could think of consumer staples. We talked about that having relative strength. That's not near the lows. That's kind of knocking on the door of highs. Healthcare has been doing decently well lately. That's a lower beta type of sector. You can think of stocks like Coke. Coke tends to smooth out a portfolio because it's a lower beta name. Usually dividend stocks tend to stabilize a portfolio. Bonds, we talked about SCHO. If you want to really just lock in a good interest rate, and if you hold it to expiration or hold it to its maturity, you'll get that 4.5% yield. It stabilizes a portfolio. And then if you want to go crazy with the rest of your portfolio, go ahead, trade that away. But you need to know your risk tolerance. And a lot of people say they have a high risk tolerance until the market starts dropping. You know, if people are long-term investors until the market starts dropping. You got to stick to the plan and know what you need to do. Another way to hedge or protect a portfolio, you can use these inverse ETFs. We've been trading a lot of SQQQ lately, the past few weeks. I even got assigned on some of my shares, and those are doing pretty well. Another way to hedge a portfolio for a longer time period is SDS. This is 2 times inverse. This one
that's what I made that big trade in 2022, right? It was
Brandon had a really good wheel cooking on SDS, and he got called away. He got paid to take profits right at the stock market bottom.
Yeah,
it's a good trade. SDS is really nice because you can hold it for longer periods of time because there's less decay than on something like SPXS. Okay? So that's something to consider. I've also been playing just a little bit with AI earnings predictions, and I don't want to make any bold statements yet because it's still in the works, but so far it's been pretty accurate. I've been running some of my charts and I've been kind of training some of the models and having it give me some earnings predictions, and it's about 70% accurate. It's not perfect, but it's more right than it's not. It predicted that MRVL was going to have a bearish earnings reaction. It predicted that Costco was going to be neutral / bearish for its earnings reaction. And I took the risk myself. I said, hey, Costco Iron Condor right over here. And I posted the trade. There's my account. Costco. Basically, I profit if Costco can stay within the range. So the red boxes represent I lose -260, but Costco stayed within the range that AI had predicted. I thought that was pretty cool. So
yeah, man,
I'm going to be testing that a little bit more.
Real quick, if you guys want to learn more about this, we got a free Discord where you can join. It's called the Victory Unit Discord. Now in there, I got free courses about other stuff. I got free courses I got a free fitness course that I used to sell for $200. It's free. It's a fat loss course called Direct Hit. It's lit. It's really good. It's free now. I have a money mindset course called Baller Mindset. It's amazing. It's one of the best courses.
I love that course.
Even if I could have charged a lot of money for it, but me and Nemo did it for free. Well, I did it for free. I still have to pay Nemo. I did it for free. Nemo did it for money, so I paid to give y'all something free.
I love the Baller Mindset.
Can you are you shitting me? I just thought about that. I paid money to give them something for free, Greg.
You're too generous.
Anyway, listen, man. Listen.
You're building up a good karma reserve right now.
Listen. Gymnasium Jesus, man. I had to give away some money I had to pay some money for your sins. Anyway, but if you want to learn more about the stock market and how to make money in the markets, you can go in there and Greg's in there. He gives out some free tips sometimes. And if you want to trade with Greg and I, get Greg's free alerts straight to your phone. Every time he has a new trade.
They're not free. You do have to join Victory.
I'm sorry. If you want to join, if you want to get Greg's alert, no, thank you. That's a good clarification. Then once you're in the Victory unit, once you're in the Discord, hit up Greg, Young Candlestick, in the Discord. Say, yo, I want to join Victory Trades, and you're going to get Greg's free. I mean, not free. You're going to get Greg's live trade alerts every time he has a new trade. He's going to send it to you. Boom, and you can trade with us in the morning. Like we trade the market open every morning. I haven't been in there the last week because I've been traveling a lot, but I'm gonna be back tomorrow. All
right, let's get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back tomorrow. So I trade futures in there. Greg's trading everything. It's fun. It's a great time. It'd be a lot of other Victinators in there. Anyway, listen. I've
got two more trade ideas, and then I'll be.
We ain't got a lot of time, Greg.
All right, I'll be fast. Long term, I like the bots ETF. So if you're into sex robots and all that good stuff, check this ETF out. Okay.
Bots, BOTS.
BOTS. It likely drop short term, but if you've got a 10-year time horizon, I think you can likely make some good loot off of this. Not financial advice. One other thing, keep an eye on oil prices. This is looking recessionary. If oil /CL continues to break down, that is signaling more signs of a recession. If you want to profit off of that, you can buy SCO shares or you can buy puts on USO. Give yourself a couple of months maybe on that trade. Not financial advice. Oil is oversold right now, but it's looking like it might want to break down. Okay.
All right.
So those are 2 potential trade ideas. I'll let you get to it, Brandon.
Real quick. No, I have a Netflix. What happened? Netflix is down like crazy.
That's exactly what we were talking about with high beta. So let's break down the Netflix chart real quick. So Netflix, again, I was saying let's just wait for 870. Netflix, this is a dirty chart. So look, breakout, retest, cool. We make higher highs. Fails to hold the former breakout area, tests it, turns into resistance, tries it yesterday. Yesterday was such a whipsaw because it's called a kicking reversal pattern. Yesterday, Netflix closed near the high, looks strong. Most stocks are closing near the high. And then today you get a gap down and just a fat break of support on increasing volume. It's just a high beta name where Netflix moves more than the broad market. And there are so many people that bought, during this time period, this whole zone. This turns into what's called overhead supply. And there's no buyers left. There's just no buyers. Short sellers start to pile on. You get an opening range breakdown, a mini little kickback rally. You can start to see some trends break. And
it's down over 8% today.
I know, that's crazy. And I think it could drop, probably another 5% before finding short-term support.
Yeah. Okay. One more. CrowdStrike.
Oh, I haven't seen this in a while. CRWD.
Yeah, they had a nasty drop today too.
Yeah. And this is one where it started off green and then reversed red. These are just goofy ass candlesticks. These are whipsaws, reversals. Like,
would you see how it's right at the marks you have? Like I have that same part. That's why I asked you. I have that same spot marked as well on my chart.
It's one of those things where how many buyers are there? If the consumer is strapped for money, if institutions don't want to invest in this, maybe they want to wait. It just doesn't look that great.
It's not look promising. It went into it too violently, right?
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you like it long term, dollar cost average DCA into something like this, you'll get CrowdStrike exposure if you're invested in S&P 500. I personally like PanW a little bit more. This is Nancy Pelosi's cybersecurity pick. And 174 is probably coming up next for this stock. Long term, though, I do think the stock can potentially get to $300, $400, $500 a share. But in the short term, maybe it drops 20%.
Okay. And real quick, what do you think about you say you don't see a bottom in sight for the Qs?
It could be today. It's one of those things where if you want to take that stab, go for it.
Yeah.
I really just need to wait for better signs. It's just it's a very tricky environment. Like other money managers are scrambling right now. They're like, crap, let's buy puts, let's hedge, let's do this. And then the market goes up. Okay, let's buy stocks. And they're just chasing it. I think wait for clarity. You don't have to trade or make a position every single day. Let the setups really, really come to you, especially during times like this. Protecting your capital, I think, is really, really important, at least until the dust settles. I bet in like 2 or 3 months, we can be buying stocks for really good deals, and then we can ride that wave up.
All right. We don't have time to do it now, but when you get a chance, check out Germany's chart.
Germany?
EWG.
EWG. Let's check it out. Whoa, Germany going off. Man, look at that.
Yeah. What they got going on over there?
Really, really good relative strength on Germany for sure. Yeah. Maybe I'll cook up a trade, see if it can
you know what I'm saying? Check that shit out. I don't know what they got going on, man. Hopefully it ain't no
Japan
bullshit. And nobody's none of that bullshit. Germany and Japan.
Japan,
they getting the gang back together.
Yeah, I know.
You know what happens when they start fucking with each other? She gets crazy. We don't like that.
Even China's stock market. China's stock market is looking pretty strong too.
I'm saying
FXI. That's something to consider as well.
I'm saying, listen, I believe you're gonna cook up a trade to help us in Victory Trades make some more money. Listen,
Definitely.
if you want to learn more about trading or investing or get my other free courses, join the free Discord. If you want to trade with Greg and I, and just hit him up in the Discord, say you want to join Victory Trades. It's lit over there. All right. Thanks, Greg. Happy birthday, homie.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Greg. How old are you?
I just turned 27.
27. Hey.
My brain feels like my body feels like 22, 23.
Yeah. 27 is super young. You're doing great, brother. Awesome.
Thank you, Brandon. Peace out.
Take it easy. Peace. All right, cool, man. I think we got some super chats. Let's get into them. Let's go. Okay.
I had to add myself. We have Tay Diggs with $10.
Oh, shout out to you, Tay Gigs.
We have Victor Gonzalez. What's up, Brandon? Here since episode 3, leveling up now. Do you know anyone that runs Facebook ads that is open to lower their CPM to 70 cents to $1 per 1,000 views for free? Really trying to get a case study and do some work for free.
What's up, homie? Listen, my friends, they're not looking for no one to do their Facebook ads for free. You get what I'm saying? Like that's not what they're doing. They're not looking for somebody trying to get a case study. You know, they're looking for people who have proven experts, right? So I don't think I'm the best person to help you with that. You know, yeah. I think you need to find really like I would do some smaller stuff. You know, hey, you know how you can get it? It's how you can do it. It's always funny to me when people who run ads. This is fucked up. Let's say I don't mean it the way it sounds, but when people run ads come to me to help them get clients, I'm like, you know how I get clients? I run ads. I run ads. That's one of my preferred methods. So you could run an ad to get clients, bro, and work for them for free. Yeah. A promotion, tell them to pay. Say, man, I'll do this shit for you for a month. Use them as a case study, and then after the first month, be like, hey, if you want to keep this going, let's work something out. That's a tried and true. The first one is free. That's a tried and true method that I learned on the South Side, Chicago. You give them one for free, then they start coming back for more if they really like it. If your product is potent enough, you could do that. Once they get hooked on it, once they get hooked on the internet money. So if I was you, I would just do what you do to run ads. Homie, do it. Nima, that's how I found Nima. He was running an ad. He made a dope video. He said, hey, if you're in Miami, I don't remember what the video is. Were you on the magic carpet? No, did you? I think he I don't know if this is true, but this is how my brain remembers it. So correct me if I'm wrong. I think that somebody, like a guy, went into a cave, rubbed a lamp, and then Nima came out. Then Nima jumped out and said, hey, I'll do your ads, and he was like, I think he was something like, instead of you never had a friend like, you never had ads like me. You never ran. It was lit. And I was like, this is exactly what I'm looking for. So you can do the same thing. What else we got?
We have Julian. As a person who listens to your victory talk all the time, as you say, working 60 to 80 hours a week, that's what I'm doing. What are some ways to ask good questions to mentors and tricks to take in that information easier?
Yo, Julian, shout out to you for watching the Victory Talk podcast all the time. That's a tried and true method for success. And he's working, as you say, working. All right, he's working 80 hours a week. What are some good questions to ask mentors? I'm trying to decode this. See, so here's the thing. I want to think, motherfucker, you don't know how to ask questions? But then I read the question, I'm like, oh, he doesn't know how to ask questions. he can. As I'm reading this question, I'm like, oh yeah, this dude does need help on how to ask better questions. All right, Nima, can you copy that question? I said copy that question. I'm gonna show you guys something. Copy that question. I'm gonna help you guys out. And like the text, I just need the text. Text me the text, and then I'm gonna open up. I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna show him how to ask better questions. You know what I'm saying? No, text it to me, please. Please, I beg of you. Airdrop, man, it's too much. It's too much. You're going too hard. All right, so hold on. Okay. Wait, don't show my screen yet. All right, I'm typing something in. You know, iMessage, and I'm gonna open up Chat GPT, and this is what I want you to do, Julian. I'm not trying to clown you; it's just hilarious. Okay, I have a question that I want to ask a mentor. I'm going to type it here. I want you to rephrase it in a way that's a lot clearer and makes more sense. Okay, you sent it to me? Yeah. Okay, so I put that in Chat GPT. I'm about to get your question, Julian. That's his name, right? Yeah. What the fuck is happening? All right, cool. All right, 1 second. I gotta get up Chat GPT right quick. Huh? Oh, this one. All right. So I gotta go back to find the question. Rephrase this. Refresh. Is it in here? Okay. Okay, wait a second. All right, so you see this is what I told Julian. This is what I told Chat GPT. Chat GPT. You can do this shit. Either you take this prompt and you start a chat with this prompt. Now I'm gonna put your question in here. Boom. All right. See what this host says. Let's read. Let's see if this is better.
As someone who regularly listens to your victory talks and is putting in 60, 80-hour work weeks, I want to make sure I'm maximizing my learning from mentors. What are some effective strategies for asking great questions and retaining the valuable insights they share?
That was a little better, right? That was a little better than what you wrote. A little better, right? So you this is what you do, Julian. You take this prompt that I just made for you, right? You might want to create a custom GPT or at least a chat with this in it. And every time you have a question you want to ask a mentor, I want you to type that in there before you send it. Straight, I'm not fucking with you, man. I'm not fucking with you because it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you craft it better, right? It's gonna help you craft your questions better. For example, I use something like this all the time. So I have one chat. I have one is actually a project in Chat GPT where the first prompt was everything I type in here. I want you to rewrite it, make it clearer and simpler. Right. And if you follow me on Instagram, King Keto on Instagram, and I do that thing, ask me a question about fitness or business, I answer all those questions. But when I see the question, I think of the answer, I open Chat GPT and I just talk it into it. I just talk it in there into that same chat, and then it comes out with something clearer, more eloquent, because I'm just going off the top of my head and it's more concise and better. And then I copy that and I text that to it. So you don't use ChatGPT to ask the question. You use it to refine your questions. You know what I'm saying? Because that question wasn't the best. It wasn't the best, but it's okay. You can. I hope you're not. Somebody type. He said Chat GPT. No, I'm not telling you just ask Chat GPT. I'm telling you to use it as a tool to refine your questions. I use Chat GPT all day, every day. I have so many prompts. I have a whole Trello board full of different prompts. I'm like a prompt collector. I got so I'm actually a prompt engineer. Yeah. I went through Google's prompt engineering certification course. No bullshit. All right. What else we got?
We have Malika. Thank you for the advice, information, and excellent game.
You're welcome, Malika. Malika Assalam. How's it go, Nima? I don't want to say it. I don't want to nobody think it's disrespect. I don't want to say it wrong and they think I'm disrespect. Yo, are you fasting?
No, not for Ramadan. I do the intermittent.
You intermittent fasting for Ramadan. Yo, I fasted for Ramadan with some of my friends who was Muslim back in New York, just for fun, just for solidarity. If anyone asks, I fucks with Muslims. Heavy. No one fucks with more than me. I just want to make sure that's clear and it's on record. All right. All right. Anyway, I did. Hey, I love y'all. I got no problem. Anyway, so I did Ramadan with him, but I think I was cheating, homie. Because you can't eat when the sun's up, right? Is that how it works?
I think you stop eating before the sunrise.
You stop eating before sunrise, you can't eat again until the sun set. So I didn't have a job at the time. I was working for myself, so I just slept during the day and stayed up at night. Did I cheat my way through Ramadan? Based on the rule, I followed the rules, man. Anyway, what else we got? It was easy. It was fucking easy. Adderall at night, Tylenol PM during the day, blackout curtains. It was lit. I had a cat at the time, George. Cats are nocturnal. We was out. We was doing our damn thing. What up? What we got?
We have Scoop 2427. Your BBC, after catching up on some of your older videos, I'm wondering, did you ever befriend that old lizard Lorenzo?
I ain't seen Lorenzo. Yo, Lorenzo was this lizard I used to see every day when I would walk on my walks in the morning, and I was working on befriending him, thinking maybe we can go on the adventures and shit together, And I just ain't been seeing Lorenzo, man. He probably got eaten by a bird or something, man. It's a circle of life. It's a circle of life out here, man. It's hard out here for a lizard. You know what I'm saying? It's hard out here. I ain't seen Lorenzo in since the middle of last year, bro. What's up?
We have Israel. Mr. Carter, off topic, but what is the best way or advice you track your calories burned every day?
Oh, man, get yourself a fitness tracker, homie. I use the Oura Ring. Or you can use the Apple Watch. Nima's always wearing the Apple Watch. He don't never wear the watches I bought him. And then... I'm fucking with you. The Apple Watch is like the most useful piece. It's like one of the most useful pieces of technology there is. And it's super useful. I would wear it more but when I wear it, I feel like I don't have a soul. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel it looks like a fucking medical device. It's like, it's not cool. I don't feel like I have a soul when I wear it, but I wear it all the time, especially when I'm with my son, because he might be doing some wacky shit. I need to pay for something with my arm, or get an Uber, call an Uber from my arm. I feel like I need to be like Inspector Gadget when I'm with that motherfucker. Anyway, so the Apple Watch, Fitbit, Garmin, but I do it with the Oura Ring, and it tracks the total calories burned each day. All right. What else we got?
We have Dave Lifts. W. Brandon Carter. Just got done reading Ego is the Enemy and Deep Work, working on my YouTube channel. I'm a fitness and lifestyle content creator. Keep doing what you're doing. Looking to get more subs. Awesome,
man. Shout out to you, Daniel Lifts. Hey, shout out to you, Daniel Lifts. Hey, keep listening. Oh, I think somebody just came in at the buzzer. Kenny Hernandez.
Kenny Hernandez. Howdy, BBC. So
What
I've
up?
created WAP to start making money. I'm wondering how long should I make my tutorial video since it's a 16-week program.
It don't. Yeah. Sometimes we got to proofread y'all shit. I think all of y'all need to have one chat in Chat GPT where you just say, "Hey, rewrite everything I put in here," and then just filter everything through that. It really helps. That way you don't need to be that smart. Just tell it, rewrite everything I write here in this chat. Make it clearer and easier to understand. Some of you can add to that prompt. Improve the grammar. Boom. This is the chat. Boom. And then everything you type that has to go to the public needs to get filtered through that first. It's beautiful. It's like a proofreader. Because I have dyslexia, but I have to write a lot of shit. So I'm like, I keep that shit up. I do it all the time. It's like a super useful prompt. It's a super useful prompt. I am diagnosed with dyslexia, like a learning disability. Sometimes I write words in reverse and shit. All right. But I think all the others have is a super useful prompt. I have a whole like project, like a Chat GPT project. It's just called Rewrite. We're just rewriting shit for me. Anyway, that would have helped you a lot. That would have helped you a lot, Kenny Hernandez. All right. What were you about to say? What the fuck was the question? Oh, as long as they need to be, homie. It doesn't like there's no proper length for it, for anything. Because first of all, I don't know what you're teaching. I don't know who your clients are. I don't know who the avatar is. But the length you need to make it is as long as it needs to be for you to get your point across. Right now, one key from course creation is if you can break it up into the smaller chunks you can break up the videos in, so they're more digestible, the better. But they need to be as long as they need to be for you to get your point across. There's no perfect length. All right. Pause. All right. What else we got? That's it. All right. Let's get back into the tips. I had 40. I don't know if so if you're just joining us, I had 40 tips, 40 things I wish I knew when I was a youngster. 40 things I wish I knew when I was 20. I don't think we're going to get to 40. I might, within the next 15 minutes. I think we need 40, bro. I might have to do this again on Tuesday. Go through the rest of it on Tuesday. All right, let's go. Let's keep going. Yeah, run the thing. All right. So we're continuing on the things I wish I knew when I was 20, right? The next one is people will always act in their own self-interest. You may be wondering, why did somebody do this? Why did this happen? Everyone is always going to act in their best self-interest, right? They'll do things for you. They'll do things for other people, but everybody's going to act in their own self-interest. And all you have to do to get anything you want is align other people's self-interest with yours. That's all you have to do, right? So instead of looking at it in a nihilistic way, like, oh, everybody's selfish, I'm like, everybody's selfish. So all I got to do is give them what they want and I'll get whatever I want, right? It depends on how you look at it. But this is true, right? Like even your fucking dog, if you don't feed that dog, it's going to run away and get some food. You know what I'm saying? Like if everyone is going to act in their own self-interest and you should not be surprised. And in fact, you need to work with it. Right. And sometimes it's a wake-up call. I remember a long time ago. There was this girl I liked. And we were supposed to hang out. And she gave me, and then the day we were supposed to hang out, she's like, oh, my mom said, my mom wanted me to help her do something. I can't come. So she flaked on me. And I was like, hey, no problem. It happens, right? It happens to the best of it. Even me. I know some of you guys are shocked. Yeah, even me. And I thought, you know what? Whether that's true or not, moms do be needing shit sometimes. Like sometimes moms need some shit. I know my mom needs some shit sometimes, right? But whether that was true or not, it didn't matter. Because if I was Drake, talking prime Drake, like pre, not like us Drake. If I was Drake, she would have said, look, mom, you're going to have to figure this shit out on your own. I got fucking Drake waiting on me. Straight up. Right. And her mom would have been like, yeah. Yeah, I don't need this. This shit ain't that urgent where you need to be standing up Drake, girl. You need to get us out the fucking hood. Go ahead. Right? It would have been in her best self-interest for her to do it, right? She would have did it. And so I just looked at it, I just got to step my game up. You know what I'm saying? I just got to step my game up. I got to be at the level. I got to build myself up to the point where girls will women will flake on their mothers for me instead of flaking on me for their mothers, right? That's a different level, but that level exists, right? That level exists. You know, prime Drake, bitches would flake on their mother for prime Drake. Bitches would punch their mom in the mouth for prime Drake. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I just got to step my game up. That's all it is. Now, here's what you need to be always thinking. If people don't support you, or you're not getting customers, or you're not doing this, or things aren't working for you, how do you make yourself better so it's in people's best interests to fuck with you, right? Oh, I want to network with people. Remember, people are always acting in their own self-interest. How do you make it how can you build yourself up, or your product or service or whatever you have to offer? How can you build it up to the point where it's in their best interest to work with you, right? To network with you, right? If you want to be an international playboy, you want to have sex with a bunch of women all the time, every day. Cool. I'm not making no judgments. How do you build yourself up so it's in your best self-interest for women to want to participate in that willingly, eagerly, right? If you want to have 1 million subscribers, right? You want to have 1 million followers. People tell me they want to have 1 million followers. The first thing I always ask them is, why should people follow you? Why should 1 million people follow you? Like, why should they? And they always stump. They can never answer that question. And I'm like, yo, until you answer that question, you're not going to be able to get the followers, right? Because people are going to act in their own self-interest. If you can't even think of a reason why these motherfuckers should follow you, you think they're going to figure it out on their own? Nah, you know? So just know, everyone is always going to act in their own self-interest, and all you have to do to get whatever you want is to align your self-interest. All right. The next thing I wish I learned in my 20s was there is no amount of money that you cannot fuck up. There's no amount of money you cannot fuck up. I remember when I made my first million. I don't remember the exact age, but I know it's my early 30s. I had made $1 million that year, revenue. But I looked at my own personal account and I did not have $1 million in it, right? Because I didn't understand. You know, making money and managing money are two different skill sets, right? Making money and managing money are two different skill sets, right? And that's when I put in place a strategy called MBA accounting, right? I talked about it in other videos, but I started just really taking inventory of every dollar I spent. I used something called mint.com at the time. Now I use something called Monarch, because Mint doesn't work anymore. Right. But I track every dollar I spend, every dollar I make, categorize it where it's coming from, and I keep meticulous track of my finances. There's no amount of money you can't fuck up. Right. And you know, I was coaching this other entrepreneur last summer, I think it was, maybe it was the summer before last. And you know, I had helped him make $1 million before. He had made over $1 million, and he had so much money. And I'm kicking it with him. He's like, man, I'm rich now too. Oh, he'd always talk about how he's rich. Hey, now I'm rich. Then he hit me up, showed me he sent me a bank statement, a screenshot. He had $1,000, right? I'm like, what the fuck happened? Right? And so I told him to come to my crib. I said, you've been using mint.com? He's like, nah, yeah, I told you to do it. Like, yeah, I didn't ever do it. All right, hook up. I made him hook up all his accounts to mint.com, and it can show his old transactions, right? They can go back 90 days. And we set and categorized every transaction. And we saw how much money he was blowing on bullshit. He blew that $1 million, right? It wasn't even like it wasn't profitable. His business was profitable. His lifestyle wasn't. He blew that shit. He fucking blew it. You know, and he was shocked to see how much money he spent on girls, how much money he lost gambling, how much money he spent on flights, how much money he spent on designer shit. It was like, yo, man, there's no amount of money you can't fuck up. There is no amount of money I'm talking about legit millions. Allen Iverson. Hold on, let me just make sure this is right before I say it. Hold on. I think, hold on, man. Fuck, I want to say. Hold on 1 second. If I'm right about this. Okay, wait. Okay, my fault. Now Mike Tyson, throughout his boxing career, made over $300 million. I'm going to say that again. Mike Tyson earned himself, after splits with managers, $300 million. He still went bankrupt. There is no amount of money you can't fuck up. I know a chick that he was fucking when he went bankrupt, man. He ended up living with her mom, with her and her mom in her mom's house in Washington Heights, the motherfucking hood. The motherfucking hood. After he blew all that money, this motherfucker was in mansions, $300 million. Next thing you know, he's back in the fucking hood. There is no amount of money you cannot fuck up. He's back on his feet now, right? You know, because podcast and shit, you know, fighting Jake Paul and shit. He's back on his feet now. There is no amount of money you can't fuck up, right? So the key is track your spending meticulously. Track your money, get serious about it, learn accounting, because you can fuck up that money, bro. You can definitely fuck it. There's no amount of money that can't be fucked up. All right. The next lesson I ruled. The next lesson comes from Warren Buffett. Oh, never mind. What the fuck? Okay. All right. The next lesson, I'm sorry, not from Warren Buffett. The next lesson I wish I knew when I was 20 is you will become like the people you were around. Whether you will become like the people you're around, whether you want to or not. It will happen involuntarily. In fact, you've already done it. Right? You probably have a similar accent to the people who are in your hometown, home country. Right? You probably have similar religion to the people you grew up around. You probably have you like a lot of the similar things. Right? You probably like a lot of the similar foods. Right? You human beings we assimilate involuntarily to people around, and there's a lot of studies that show that too. Right? There's one study that shows that if one of your friends becomes obese, this is a study, then you have a 40% chance of becoming obese. But here's the crazy part: if a friend of one of your friends, a third motherfucker that you don't even know, if he becomes obese, now you have a 20% chance of becoming obese. Right? You don't even know that motherfucker, right? Then, if let's say that person, a friend of a friend of a friend, we're talking 4 levels deep, you know that person, studies show that you have a 10% chance of becoming obese from a motherfucker you don't even know because he got fat. Right? You don't even know his homie, you know? You become like the people you're around. So studies show that one of the best predictors of wealth, of income, is how much people's friends make, right? So super important, man. You're going to ride with the winners or you're going to lay with the losers, right? So if you out here, if your friends are out here fucking up, acting crazy, have a lot of trouble, you know, getting in trouble all the time, you probably got to disassociate yourself from them, you know? unless they ask you for your help. Of course, if someone asks you for your help and they're a friend or family member, then you can be there for them. But if they're not asking for your help and they are here fucking up, you got to disassociate yourself, right? One of the 48 laws of power is avoid the unhappy and the unlucky, right? He talks about it's contagious, man. There's something around that about the energy is contagious, but the opposite is true too. It's contagious, and you know it is, right? Have you ever been around somebody who's happy? You become more happy, right? If a fucking happy kid runs in a room, everybody seems to light up, or a puppy runs in a room, people light up. But you've also been in a room where everything's cool, and if somebody comes in with the motherfucking stank face, all mean and angry, changes the whole energy of the room, right? That just happened on a small level, just the room. Imagine prolonged exposure to that shit. What does it do to you? You know, stay away from the unhappy and unlucky, right? And you're gonna become like people you're around, whether you want to or not. All right. Listen, guys, I'm supposed to do 40 of them. I'm gonna finish this list on Tuesday when we do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen, if you're trying to grow your online fitness business, I got a free ebook called The 10 Commandments of Online Training. It'll help you grow your online fitness business. It's the first link in the description. All right. It's a really good book for anybody who's serious about, becoming an online trainer, want to make some money in the fitness industry, grow their following, all that shit. Click that link and I'll holler at y'all.